Okay, so once again, my name is Andrew Sandifer. I'm an Education Abroad Advisor here at Drexel in the Office of Global Engagement. And I just wanted to talk with you all today about possibilities of you studying abroad during your time in the Westphal School of Design and Media Arts. So to start, why should you study abroad? So the hope is that you came to college to expand your worldviews, and what better way to do this than studying abroad? We have a lot of different programs, which I'll touch on later in this session, that can take you to all different parts of the world for as little as 1 week to as long as a full academic year abroad. So you have many different options. Also, when college graduates are polled, one of their biggest regrets is not going abroad. So definitely take this time here at Drexel and your time currently while taking classes online to consider where you might want to go in the next few years. The world won't be like this forever, so we're trying to get you to know about our different programs in the terms moving ahead. And another thing I wanted to mention is that employers are looking for people who are able to work with people from all different backgrounds, who have these international experiences, because it does demonstrate you have flexibility, you're open-minded, and you're able to work with people from all different backgrounds. And so if you're in an interview, for example, and you have your study abroad program on your resume, which we hope you would put on there, you might get asked about that experience, and it does make you stand out of a crowd for sure. So I wanted to start by the types of programs we offer. So to begin, we have something called freestanding programs. Now, a lot of Westphal students tend to go on our freestanding programs, and these are where groups of Drexel students or other students from American universities go on a program together. So you take classes with American students, and you also get letter grades and Drexel credits. So it will impact your GPA. Tati, for example, went on our Paris-London program, which is an example of a freestanding program, and she got letter grades on that program and was able to study in Paris for 5 weeks and London for 5 weeks. So that's just an example of a freestanding program. There is a select list of courses that are offered. So you can take a look at those on the different programs and see what kinds of classes are offered. Some might be geared towards your major or your discipline. Others could be gen eds or just general courses that might be interesting to take from an international perspective. You pay your regular Drexel tuition on a freestanding program, and you typically pay a program fee, which usually includes housing. So that's on top of your Drexel tuition. There are also exchange programs that you can look into, and these are a bit different. So this is where you become a student at a university abroad. So think about you coming to Drexel and starting school here. Well, now put that into perspective of going to a different school abroad, starting school there, and taking classes with both local and international students. So you have a larger course catalog to choose from. So like Drexel, these schools will have all different kinds of majors. So you can take potentially courses that are media and design focused, or maybe you're just looking to do a variety of courses that aren't necessarily geared towards your major. So something you can think about, you do get Drexel credits on these programs, but you receive credit or no credit on your transcript. So your GPA would basically freeze from the term before, and then you would get credit or no credit for your classes. You typically need a C equivalent or better to get a passing grade for credit. You pay your regular Drexel tuition, same as a freestanding program. There typically is not a program fee associated, but you should factor in the cost of housing and living. So you'll maybe living in the dorms at that university and paying the school for on-campus housing, or maybe you're living off campus in an apartment, or maybe you're doing a homestay if it's that kind of program. Another very popular kind of program that students from all colleges really like doing are our short-term programs, which are called intensive courses abroad, or you'll hear them known as ICAs. So these are short-term programs that happen during all Drexel breaks. So fall, spring, summer, and winter breaks, there are different programs that are offered. You can get anywhere from 1 to 4 credits. The course is pre-selected. It is led by a faculty member from Drexel. So they'll be leading you on this program with a group of anywhere from 8 to 20 students, depending on the program. There is a program fee that is part of this, so that covers housing and excursions. and there's no additional tuition on top of this. So for example, if you're looking at one of our fall break programs, those typically run in early September, and the credits would go on your fall quarter term. So you would have to keep enough credits open for that program for that following term. So the last kind of program I'm going to touch on would be an independent study abroad program. So we offer a lot of different programs that we call Drexel sponsored programs. Now, we might not offer something that is of interest to you. So it might not suit your needs or your objectives. And independent programs are not technically Drexel sponsored, but we do have an advisor that's specifically dedicated to independent study abroad programs, should you want to look outside our portfolio of programs. And these are typically run by other American universities, international universities, or study abroad providers. So all courses you would take on an independent study abroad program would be listed as transfer credit on your Drexel transcript. You would not be paying Drexel tuition for these programs. You would be paying that organization or university directly for your education there. In terms of financial aid, your Drexel financial aid would not apply during the terms you're doing an independent study abroad. But if you get federal aid, it may or may not apply. It just depends on the situation. So for example, if you wanted to do a study abroad program in South Africa, which we do not have at this present time, you could look at doing an independent study abroad to do that. So when is the best time to go? It's usually your middle years, so sophomore year or junior year. If you're a 5-year student, you can definitely go your pre-junior year as well. Fall programs tend to work best for exchanges because that's when the rest of the world matches up with our fall quarter. Fall and summer typically have the most options. It's not to say you can't go abroad during spring quarter or winter quarter. We do have programs that are for spring and winter quarter. However, we just don't have as many as summer and fall. And one thing I can't stress enough is to talk with your academic advisor. They are a huge help in figuring out how to arrange your courses so you graduate on time and how you can fit a study abroad program into your time here at Drexel. Many Westphal majors can go abroad more than once if they wanted to. So definitely talk to your academic advisor about the different options that you're interested in. And then you definitely should talk to us, obviously, about the specific program that you're interested in. And I'll discuss that in our next step section in a little bit. So I wanted to share where students have gone in the past. So this is by no means where you have to go. If your major is listed here, you don't necessarily have to go on this program. You can look at other programs as well. These are just examples of where students have gone. So we've sent an animation student to Japan recently, Akita International University, which is in the northern part of the country. Our dance students tend to like our London Dance Conservatory program, which focuses on choreography and things like that. Design and merchandising. Tati is the design and merchandising major. Actually, if you don't mind jumping in, D&M students can go anywhere.
Yes, it's very easy if you're a D&M student. Just talk to our academic advisor and she will really help you to find the best program. But if I'm being completely honest, you have so much flexibility with the schedule. So if you like something on this list, great. If you don't, there's so many different opportunities that we offer as well.
Thank you, Tati. Entertainment and arts management students, we've sent students to Italy, Scotland, and Hong Kong. Fashion design, we typically send students to the London College of Fashion or Accademia Italiana in Florence, but you could also look into other summer opportunities as well during your sophomore year. Film and television, Australia and Ireland are very popular. We've sent a few students to Galway, for example, a very popular option for film. Continue, graphic design students, typically students go abroad their sophomore summer, and we send students to on our dual city programs, which include London plus Rome or plus Paris. There's regular London for either 5 weeks or 10 weeks. You could do summer in Rome or summer in Montpellier, which is in the south of France. Interior design, students have gone to Costa Rica on a sustainability program of ours. They've done dual city summers, gone to Hong Kong, spent a summer in Rome. Music industry, Hall Arts is a very popular option. It's a college that's specific for music industry majors, and only music industry majors can attend this program. There's also England with FIE London, the University of Leeds, as well as Edinburgh and Napier University in Scotland. Photography, you can do dual city summers. We have had students that go to South Korea. There are also other programs you can look at as well. And then product design, we've sent students to Florence, Italy, and KAIST in South Korea. I just want to make a note about architecture, if there are any architecture students on here. Because of architecture's strict schedule, there are specific intensive courses abroad that you could look at that are designed for architecture students, and locations in the past have been Italy and Australia and other locations. You can also look at doing an independent study abroad, which I mentioned before, in the summer or the summer of your freshman or sophomore year. A lot of architecture students like to go to Scandinavia in their summers to take courses. That's been a popular option. But be sure to talk with your academic advisor to see what other students have done in the past and what could best fit your schedule. So I also want to bring up where students have gone on intensive courses abroad. So these are the faculty-led programs that happen during the breaks, but these are where Westphal students have gone in the past. So for example, the program in Japan is led by Westphal professor Shushi Yoshinaga. And then the fashion industry one in South Korea is led by Jae-yoon Jeong, a fashion professor at Drexel. The Cuba documentary program is led by Professor Jerry Cooper in the film department. So there are a lot of Westphal specific intensive courses abroad led by Westphal faculty. And then there are these other programs that might not be Westphal specific per se, but students have gone on. So creative writing intensive in Haiti, or sustainable leadership in film program in the Czech Republic. I believe that one has been led by a business professor over in Lebeau. And there's another one in Guatemala, Development and Action, and I believe that's where this photo is actually from, is from that Guatemala program. So the application process, what does it entail? Well, first, if you're interested in a program, you would meet with a study abroad advisor, and they would go over the program with you, and then they would be able to open your application. You have to meet with an advisor before you are able to open an application for term-long programs. If you're interested in one of the short-term intensive courses abroad, you're actually able to open that on your own without any assistance from us. But what is part of the process? So first, for the freestanding and exchange programs that are full-term, you need to do an academic planning form. So that basically makes you look at what courses you may or may not want to take while you're abroad. You would write down the potential courses you want to take while you're there, and you have to get signatures from around campus from your academic advisor, your co-op advisor, and potentially other signatures as well. For intensive courses abroad, you would need to complete a faculty interview. So whoever is leading that program, they will interview you as part of the application process to make sure you're a good fit for that program. There is an application fee. The amounts vary depending on the program. Break programs are $25 for an application fee. Term-long programs are $50 per application. And then for independent study abroad, it's either $100 or $200, depending on if it's a full-time or a part-time. Recommendations. You will need 1 or 2 recommendations depending on what type of program you're applying to. So if you're doing an intensive course abroad, you'll need 1 recommendation. If you're doing a full-term program, you'll need 2. And typically students get these from professors or co-op supervisors. Your study abroad advisor can discuss that in more detail. But just to note now, they're not traditional recommendation letters. They're actually shorter answer questions. So it doesn't take the professor or co-op supervisor too long. So just something to keep in mind. And then there are essays. There are 3 essays, all asking in a similar vein, why do you want to study abroad? They're not terribly long. One is about 750 words, and the other 2 are approximately 300. And then a very important thing is submitting your application by the deadline. So just to give you an idea of a couple of deadlines that are coming up in the next several months, our summer quarter deadline for summer 2021, that deadline is going to be February 1st. So you still have plenty of time in case you want to go abroad this upcoming summer. For fall 2021, that deadline is February 15th. So still plenty of time to look into applications to go abroad. Intensive courses abroad, those deadlines vary by program. Right now, I believe we are starting to accept summer break applications. So those are all online on our website. And our website, if you don't know, is drexel.edu/study abroad. So cost. You pay your regular Drexel tuition as if you were going to Drexel, and you keep any financial aid that you normally receive. So that remains the same. So you're basically paying regular Drexel tuition, but you're at another university. There are program fees that are on top of your tuition for freestanding programs and intensive courses abroad. These vary in amount and it depends on the program. And accommodation is typically included in that program fee. Additional expenses would be airfare, meals, books, spending money, and miscellaneous expenses. So you'll have to budget in for those. We actually have cost sheets on our website that you can take a look at to see how much approximately a program will cost in terms of additional expenses. So I would highly recommend beginning a budget now, just because it'll be helpful in the future when you're trying to figure out how much is this going to cost. So scholarship and financial opportunities. So this is something else to definitely look into. Our office does something called the Dragons Abroad Scholarship that you can apply to. There are 3 different categories. There's a financial need scholarship, a project scholarship, and a diversity scholarship. You can apply to 1, 2, or all 3 when you open your full-term application. The Dragons Abroad Scholarship is a full-term program scholarship. One thing I forgot to put on here is that there is an intensive course abroad scholarship as well. There are 2 categories of this. I'm forgetting them specifically right now, but if you are interested in intensive courses abroad, there are ICA scholarships available too. For full-term programs, there's also a summer blogger scholarship, so anybody can apply to that for summer programs. There are external scholarships you can look at. So to give you a couple of examples, if you are a Pell Grant recipient, you might be eligible for the Gilman Scholarship. If you are looking into programs in Asia for a term, there is the Freeman Asia Scholarship that you could apply to as well. There is an office on campus. They used to be known as the Fellowships Office. They just changed names and I'm forgetting the specific name now. But they can help you, they can help advise you for these larger national scholarships, such as the Gilman and the Freeman Asia. They're extremely helpful and I'd highly recommend utilizing them as a resource if you decide to apply to these larger national scholarships. And then we also have a work-study blogger position that you can apply to for fall, winter, and spring terms. And those applications are available after you've been accepted to your program. So I want to briefly touch upon study abroad and COVID-19. So fall 2020 programs were canceled, so we have no students abroad currently. As you likely saw in the email yesterday from President Fry, winter 2021 programs were also canceled, so we are not sending any students abroad this upcoming January. Spring quarter and beyond are still scheduled, but are subject to change. So if you are interested in applying for summer 2021 or beyond, we are accepting applications. So feel free to meet with us if you want to discuss anything. We're more than happy to assist. Safety is our -- priority. We have a Senior Director of International Health, Safety, and Security who is monitoring the situation closely. And we're really hoping we can send students abroad this spring and beyond. But unfortunately, there are no guarantees. And just so you know, we've been flexible for refunds, deposits, and deferrals. So we're trying to do our best to make sure that you can get abroad at some point during your academic career. And we are more than happy to work with you on plans A, B, C, D, or E, and beyond if need be. So some next steps. Figure out what your top program interest is, top 1 or 2 programs. Utilize our website to look through program brochures, read through the program information. Go to our blog webpage and look at student blogs from abroad to see what their experiences were like. Talk to one of our student ambassadors. We have 2 of them. Tati here is one of our student ambassadors, and she's a Westphal student. We also have a global studies student named Abby, if you want to talk to her as well. Their emails and contact information are on our website. Talk to your academic advisor about how to fit a study abroad program into your plan of study. And talk with us. We are more than happy to sit down with you and guide you through the process and what you need to know. Make sure you only schedule an appointment with one advisor to start. So if you are interested in 2 different programs that are 2 different advisors, pick your favorite one and just meet with that advisor first. And if you still need to meet with another advisor later, that advisor can give you their information. Fashion and D&M students, I will be doing a group advising session on Friday, December 4th from 12 to 1. So if you're interested, you can email me at my email, which is at the bottom of this slide, or studyabroad@drexel.edu, and I will give you the Zoom link for that group advising session from 12 to 1 on December 4th. Graphic design students, if you're interested in doing the 5-week or 10-week London program, I will also be doing a group advising session on Friday, December 11th from 12 to 1 p.m. So again, email studyabroad@drexel.edu or my email, ahs68, for that Zoom link. And this is our contact information. So again, we're the Office of Global Engagement. We are on the 2nd floor of the academic building, normally. Right now, we're all working remotely. So across from the Bulkley bubble. So when we're back on campus, come up and visit, say hi. That's our general email. And that's our website. We also have a great Instagram that Tati runs for us right now. So if you follow us already, she's in charge of all of those great posts and content that you see. And that is all I have for this session. So I will now open it up to Q&A. I'm also going to end the recording. So give me one moment.